I think one of the only miracles in life, truly, is kids, and specifically watching them grow up. And I feel very blessed that I'm able to be around to watch my kids grow up and go through all the stages. And Ever is 2 years old now and just loving it. She's all sweet and loving and squishy and starting to be very demanding, and just being able to be around that feels very miracle like. And the same goes for Bowen, who is 5, or he would tell you he's 5.5. And what I notice is it's nice to have those choices. And I think we all want the same thing. I think we really do want to go to a place where we have more choices, right? We want to find people who also themselves have more choices, more security, more freedom. But it's really about choices, because when you have the choices, then you have that underpinning, you have that security underneath it. And so it's really having that choice. And for some people, and for most people, it's the choice to not have to work. And so this got me to thinking of one of my core beliefs that I don't think I've talked about lately, or certainly not enough. And I had a webinar this past Wednesday that I called Peak Gold, which I have a similar webinar on my club site that I recorded years ago, but this one is completely brand new, and I spent the previous weekend putting all the slides together, getting all the data, and literally I gave it away for free to everyone. And I had one funny comment from a gentleman who said, "Turn the volume up or I want my money back," which was great because it was a free webinar. So what I want to talk with you about is something that is pretty important, considering that most people miss this. And it's this idea that you are always at all times invested. There is no way that your money is not invested. If you collect lawnmowers, it's invested in lawnmowers. If you collect antique cars, it's invested in antique cars. And even if you have money set aside. So there's this belief, and I hear it a lot living in Silicon Valley here, that, oh no, I'm not invested, my money is set aside in cash. Well, I want to tell you that you are always, at all times, invested. So if you know anyone who has set their money aside in cash, and for most of you, if you're paid in US dollars, that means your cash really isn't cash, it's in US dollars. And if you're in Canada, your cash is Canadian dollars, and so on. So that is not setting aside money. You're actually investing in Canadian dollars or investing in US dollars. And the more you look at the fact that all of your money is always invested, then you start to really think about investing differently, because it is always being invested. And then you start thinking really about, well, this is about strategies. Which leads me to, there are only 4 places in the world, literally only 4, where you can invest your money, or put your money, or set your money aside. Doesn't matter what frame, but there are only 4 places in the world that can happen. You can put your money in companies, publicly traded companies, private companies, but you can put your money in companies. You can put your money in debt, meaning you can lend your money to people. You can lend your money to the US government, the Canadian government. You can lend your money to Coca-Cola, Chevron. You can lend your money to municipalities. But when you lend your money, it's debt. So debt is a whole other place that you can set your money aside or invest your money. And then you have what I call physical. And this could be collectibles, this could be commodities, this could be real estate. But whatever it is, it's physical in nature. And just like all the other 3, this has many subcategories. So you could set your money aside in real estate, or you could set your money aside in gold, or you could set your money aside in collectibles or autographs, famous signatures, or you could invest in those. But it's the same thing. And then the 4th is currencies. Now, I personally consider gold and silver a currency, though silver is also used for industrial purposes too. So is gold, but more silver is. So currencies is one of those places where you can put your money, invest your money, using the same frame, set your money aside. But it is always invested all the time. There is no 5th category. There is no 5th category. And I really want this to impress upon you, because as I meet more people and I hear that they got out of the stock market 4 years ago because of the pain and the 58% or 60% loss, and they set their money aside, or maybe even they got it out the year before that, but they haven't put it in, and some people are still thinking that it's set aside. It isn't. It's invested. And even from the bottom of the stock market in March of 2009, the US dollar is down 15%. 15%. And that's against other printable currencies like the yen and the yuan and the euro and the pound. I mean, that's amazing. So take away from this market situation report and really look at where your money is and what it's invested in. And what I want to just kind of drop the seed in, I don't want it invested in stock picks or asset classes or sectors. What I think you want, what I've noticed, I shouldn't say what I think you want. What I've noticed that works the best is to invest your money in strategies, because the strategies then can adapt to what's going on and always be looking out for you. And if you can adapt, or you can have strategies that adapt, then you're going to be better off for whatever comes your way. My next monthly strategy gathering is May 14th. Maybe you can tell my voice is a little soft because of all the talking I did for the webinar on Wednesday. The webinar itself was about an hour and 10 minutes, but then I stayed on for another hour and 25 minutes and answered all the questions people had about gold. So monthly strategy gathering is coming up on May 14th. We're, of course, going to talk about the markets, the strategies, the portfolios, speed investing, live extensive Q&A, of course, an update on strategies. And I'm always telling you we're going to do Market X-Ray, but because this is going to be streamed live from my office here in Silicon Valley, we'll probably have the time to do that. I hope you all have a great weekend. I know gold is going through a correction right now. We had a gold correction back in 2008. No one noticed it because everything was correcting. It's happening again. And I do believe that if you stick with it or understand really what's going on and see this as an opportunity, when you look back in 3 or 5 years, you're really going to see it for what it is. And that is probably a once in 2 or 3 decade chance to get something that has greatly moved way beyond its normal move or distribution. Thanks everyone so much. I look forward to speaking with you next week. Y'all take care.